Okay. Welcome back, Weather Kingdom. We are chilling here tonight. We're going to be taking a look at the busy potential period of the tropics. I know we were talking about the tropics last night. And like I said, I'm going to be live streaming as much as I could. I hope you guys do enjoy the stream. I hope you guys are staying tuned and for everything. Welcome back, Weather Kingdom. I hope you guys are having a great night. If you guys want to subscribe, we are at 855 subscribers. Let's get up to 900 subs tonight. Will be awesome. All right. Let me just start that. Teal, all colors. Out the tropics last night. Will we hit 900 subs by the end of the week? Alright, let me just quickly. We're going to go in the satellite. We're going to go actually into the Atlantic. And we're going to take a good look in the Atlantic wide. See what is going on here. One thing for sure that is likely going to be getting picked up on is this guy right down here. Wow, look at that powerful embedded wave there. I mean, this is a pretty, actually, very well organized wave that should become by tomorrow morning or tomorrow afternoon. Invest 93, I think, will be the next one. I'm pretty sure. We'll have to wait and see. But hey, what's up, Danielle? What is up, Void? What is up, everybody? What is up? We are chilling here. We are waiting on people to come. That's our big wave. And then, you know, we are... This is... Let me just... These... As people are joining, we are going to be taking a look at this guy right here. And then we are going to be taking a look at this right and here. Alright. So, two areas to take a look at. Generally, the areas are over here. Is one massive area right here. I'm not trying to cut it into the storm. And then our other one is right in here, the Central American Gyre. We're going to be talking about these two areas. Wow, this is the leftover of cold front and imelda. Just now scooting on by. Pretty much nothing anymore. Associated with some stuff going on. So, nothing too much to really sit and relay on. Probably 95L. It's my mistake. Okay. If you guys are new to the channel, please like and subscribe. We're trying to get to 900 subs. That'd be absolutely greatly appreciated. You guys are amazing. I think we can do it. Let's get more people engaged with the weather. Alright. Welcome, welcome. Alright, we already got 10 people watching here. Let's do it, Weather Kingdom. We're just going to start talking about these two areas. So, first off, we're going to go into the zoom-in look of the main development region. As this is our main developing wave right here. I mean, pretty impressive. This is a pretty impressive wave. With a low pressure embedded in here. We got a lot of showers, thunderstorms, really embedded right into these thunderstorms. I'm trying to find a color that will work into here. And like right around there it is. Look at some of these convection bands actually developing within this. This is a pretty healthy tropical wave right here with some very good showers and thunderstorms. We don't see anything really being sheared. If anything, there's actually a bit of an outflow boundary to its northern side here. You can see where the thunderstorms are actually breathing. So that's why we've been seeing this breathing motion. This is actually part of that couple Kelvin wave. This is a pretty big portion of that couple Kelvin wave. Probably is dealing with some shear on the northern side here. That's why it's more of an outflow type channel right on the northern side. So that's actually helping for these northern thunderstorms to breathe very well. All right, welcome back, everybody. Thank you, Thomas Brewer. Thank you. If you guys are new to the channel, please like and subscribe. I'm just going to be discussion before we even answer any questions. We're just going to do it here. So these are the showers and thunderstorms. This is pretty impressive. When we take a look at the water vapor currently, we honestly don't have too much dryer compared to past waves, to be honest with you. This is a pretty good pattern here. This is our moisture pocket, right where I'm circling at in blue. And then when we take a look at dry air, generally there is some mid-level dry air right into here, and then some deeper and upper level dry air there. So when we take a look at that deeper, most stable dry air is generally in this right here. This is your real dry, stable air. This is what you call D for dry. This is kind of mixable. I know Pat has said it before. This is kind of mixable dry air. There is some in the upper levels, even in the upper levels, the mid levels. Then the low levels are a little bit dry. How can we tell is there's some darker colors behind these cloud tops that are fading away. So there is some dry air into this portion. There's our little wave right here. This is probably dealing. This is actually helping our current wave with some of that actually good flow, that upper level flow, because we got another trough slash cold front, whatever you want to call it. The leftover Imelda and Humberto's mess is actually helping the outflow on the northern side, especially. Also with this wave too, we're going to be getting an active MJO, so this is going to help to strengthen the MJO. But I do have one more area to take a look at, is the Western Atlantic. I want to take a look at the Central American gyre starting to kick on. As you guys know, we got some very interesting stuff here. So if you guys are new to the channel, please like and subscribe. That would be very greatly appreciated. If you have any questions, feel free to comment them down below. All right. So this is that Central American gyre here. We generally do see a pretty nasty tut right here. This is actually giving some shear into the Caribbean right here. This is kind of a death zone right now in the Caribbean. If any storm wants to go in the Caribbean because of this tut. Also shear on this side here too. Generally this will be all sheared around it. This will be being sheared, whatever was around it. Even parts of these thunderstorms here are being completely sheared right here, especially on these islands right there, thanks to this nasty tut. But when we take a look at in the red, we also have a little spin right there. That's bringing some showers and thunderstorms along the Gulf Coast. Nothing too much. And then we got a Central American gyre generally trying to develop. It is taking its time. Alright, so when we take a look at the Caribbean and the Gulf of Mexico currently, this is pretty interesting. We do not see a full-on Central American gyre, but there's definitely spinning here. If you look at the Central American gyre here, this is generally starting to develop, especially in October. You can tell we're seeing some of those low levels and mid-levels features. And then it's actually kind of circling back in here. And I would say generally right into here. And then completely going this way and then pretty much on the repeat. So this is your Central American gyre right here with the spin. There's not too much spin right now going on, but I would like to see what happens with this wave here. There is a bit more of a mid-level spin trying to piece off the Central American gyre, and there's some model support trying to get maybe a weak or at least a hatch yellow in the Bay of Campeche in the next couple days. I would like to share that and look at that with the information with you guys. All right. So when we take a look at the National Hurricane Center, this is some weird dot they put. I'm not even going to talk about it. It's 0%. Nothing to worry about. But this one, basically, they keep rising the 48-hour chances, and I do not blame them. Honestly. A broad area of low pressure is producing disorganized showers and thunderstorms several hundred miles of the Cabo Verde Islands. Environmental conditions are conducive for gradual development of this system. It could become a tropical depression by the middle or latter part of next week while it moves across the central Atlantic, approaching the Leeward Islands. 2060. So, not too much information there. I wouldn't be surprised if that yellow blip in the 8 to 7 days. Hey, what is up, Critty? What is up, Void? What is up, everybody in the chat? We're getting more people engaged with the weather. All right. All right. So there is that National Hurricane Center. Sorry, I was just getting some DMs and stuff. So we were. Hey, Simur, what's up? I wouldn't be surprised if that yellow blip is in the next 7 days. Yep, that's very likely, in my opinion, at this point. What is up, everybody? We have 25 people here. If you guys are new to the channel, please like and subscribe. A robust CAG is forming. Also, another benefit to this tropical wave down here, it's almost at 5 north. Okay, it is really embedded itself into the main development region. Alright, it really embedded itself in the 5 north. So that's going to keep that northern dry air away from the center and actually help to moisten up its bubble. So that's a very good thing for the system. But I know we got some other things to take a look at. Once again, we're going to take a look at MJO. I'm not even going to... Actually, this time we're going to do it vice versa. We're going to take a look at the models, and then we're going to take a look at the MJO. Because I know you guys are very interested on the models. Uh-oh. No. Yeah, I have seen the Euro. I'm not buying the Euro. Because I'm going to talk about the European. So, I know you're right that the European is not on board with that tropical wave at all. It honestly has nothing forming in the next 6-7 days. Or, you guys know. Alright? 6, 8, whatever days. Alright? But basically, it has nothing forming. And on the GFS, it's a complete different story. The 12's the action. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm just going to go all the way out. It is interesting. It does develop the wave later, though. It does develop it pretty close to the islands, bringing some showers and thunderstorms, and then becomes more of a conjoined with this cold front, and maybe its own subtropical stuff. But once again, look at the Central American gyre. We are going to be talking more about the Central American gyre, but it's looking like it's going to be very amplified in the second half of October. And that is likely going to help to produce at least a few more names, in my opinion. But I didn't want to jump to that conclusion yet. My question is, why does this wave does not develop on the Euro? Because I'm going to tell you guys right now, what's a little bit off to me is the European ensembles. Okay, I want you guys to take a look at the European ensembles with me. Let me make sure. We got 27 people here. Alright, we got like 30 people here. What is up, everybody? If you guys are new to the channel, please like and subscribe. What is up? Hey, Carlos. Nice to see you. Hey, Critty. Say, hey, what's up, everybody? We're just talking about how I have a gut feeling that the Europeans going to be switching over very soon to the other models. Is because when we take a look at the European 12Z, right? This is 12Z, alright? Okay. And then let's just go into 48 hours, okay? What do we see here? First off, we see our beautiful tropical wave right here, all right? This is one. But we also, like I was saying, is we do see this other area in the ensembles right here. This is part of that Central American gyre beginning to show in October. I do think it will continue to become more robust. But I want to just take a look at some of the ensembles, because I do think a blimp is very possible. Because look, we take this 72 hours out. There is some L's right here and across Florida. But look at over here. A lot of these members already are tropical depression already forced. And if we take a look at the next 4 days, look at that. There's a now signal in the Bay of Campeche. It's very little. But could we see another named storm in the Bay of Campeche? That's some questions. We also see this, some lows still trying to develop on the 12Z in the Gulf of Mexico or Florida. But we do see a very strong portion of these ensembles, unlike the Euro, showing nothing to development. So the European's a little bit off, in my opinion, compared to its members. And usually when that happens, it means something is not being put in right into the data of the European. Because, be honest with you, this has upticked just a bit. It's probably a yellow blimp. I would not be surprised to see a 10%, 20% yellow blimp in the Bay of Campeche. There is now model support starting to show on that, and could be our first little CAG system. Okay? Alright. So, alright. Alright, everybody. If you guys are new to the channel, let's hit the subscribe button. Let's go to 860 subs right now. That'll be very greatly appreciated. But we also see a little bit of a signal, this weird one right here. But look at this. This very strong main development region sign here on the European ensembles. Very bullish, okay, on it. And then when we take a look at the Euro, my question is, why are you not showing anything? I mean, it shows nothing. Really has it just struggling. And then that CAG starts kicking up later on. It does show a bit of motion in the Bay of Campeche. My question is, there is a chance that a low-level center could try and develop, and that could be a weak tropical storm into Mexico. In my opinion, we'll have to keep on a watch on that. But when we take a look at the next 6 days, I mean, look at this. This is the main development region system. A lot of these members are pretty strong right in here, okay? We also have a little bit of ensemble support in the Bay of Campeche now, and a little bit of these L's right here. Nothing too big. Okay? This is the European ensembles, alright? But I want to show you guys in the next 8 or 7 days. There it is. We start to see a Central American gyre storm really develop from down in here. some L's, some ensembles. It's been showing, okay? That's something that has caught my eye lately. All right, welcome back, everybody. Yeah, weather came and started the stream a lot earlier today, at least 30 minutes earlier. But let's keep talking here. This is the European ensembles generally on the invest here. There is still model support that brings it into the northern islands here. We're going to have to continue to watch this tropical wave and watch its development, okay? But I want to just go to 10 days out and look at what's starting to happen. All right, we see our little Bay of Campeche. Probably, I'll give this a 20. All right, 20% in the Bay of Campeche. But look at, this is number one here. This is our number one system. Generally out to sea. Bermuda's going to have to watch. Potentially a big ace maker. I mean, look at the cone right there. Another big ace maker. This is probably big system number one. Bermuda will have to watch this one again, okay? This is 2, in my opinion, okay? That's number 2. And then number 3 is right in here. This is number 3. Some pretty good model support on number 3. Number 1 and number 2. These are the big waves that I'm taking a look at in the next 10 days, okay? These are the waves. There could be some other stuff too, all right? Riverstone Cabin. I know you say Gyre is going to spread out and be real sloppy storms. Look, man, I just want to... Actually, let's go back in the satellite imagery. And I'm going to actually explain this a little bit better, okay? I want to explain this to you because it's not true. You got a little bit of right, yes. Usually the Central American gyre is the size of it. And let's go use blue. Usually the Central American gyre could go hundreds and hundreds of miles like this. All right. And then we got our broad area of spin. But then we got our waves that come in here, right? These waves that circling around with seeds, mid-level spins, right? But yes, the Central American gyre is pretty a sloppy, broad area of showers and thunderstorms. But you got that part right, but it doesn't actually mean it's going to produce sloppy storms. Because Helene was a Caribbean slash Central American gyre storm. And I'm going to give you some examples of Central American gyre storms, okay? But usually what happens here is out of this broad area of spin across the Atlantic, some of these low-level centers and stuff will actually shoot off, usually into the tip of Cuba, sometimes even just if it's a strong pattern out to sea, right into Cuba here, or even a little bit more west, it goes into the Gulf of Mexico, okay? Or in the Bay of Campeche. Those are the seedlings where it develops into monster storms. For an example, I want to take a look here. Hurricane. No, Helene was different, I think. It was let's just take a look. Let's just take a quick look. Yeah, for example, Helene was one, okay? Helene was a Central American gyre storm. Yeah, right here. It was a Central American gyre storm. Oh, that's lovely of Helene. But that's not the photo I wanted to show. This is Helene. Okay, let me just... Yeah, this is Helene right here. This was through the Friday. This one, it was becoming a tropical rainstorm. Basically, this was right through here. Central American gyre went like this, circled all the way back into the Bay Campeche, and basically a seedling, a wave that came off South America, and a piece of energy of the wave came here, met up around here. And then it got spit with the Central American gyre, pulled over here because of the Central American gyre, and then shot north. And that Helene was a big storm, as you guys remember. But there's not just Helene, for example. I want to look at some of this other stuff. I don't know what this was. This is the AccuWeather. I don't even know what that was. Let's look at this. This was, I think, Zeta. This was one of the Tropical Depression 18. This was towards the end of the season. I think this one wasn't really a Central American gyre storm. It was more of a Caribbean storm. I'm looking. I'm looking at some Central American gyre storms. But basically, you get what I mean. It doesn't mean it's going to produce sloppy storms, okay? That's not what the Central American gyre does. I hope that helps you and answer your question. If you guys are new to the channel, please like and subscribe. Riverstone. Why do you say that? Hurricane Milton, for example, was a big Central American gyre storm. Yes, that was a big storm. But I want to go back into the European ensembles in the European. Because I want to really establish why I'm a little weirded out by the European right now. Is because its ensembles show a lot of... Yes, it does show Central American gyre support. I give it that. Shows a broad area of a Central American gyre pretty much in this loop right here. This is actually a very well organized Central American gyre right over the Cancun, Mexico, and pretty much producing L's all around it with some good showers and thunderstorms. That's something that you do not want to see off the European. It tells me that it's not just the ensembles picking up on some L's and spins. It's the European main run. Okay? This is the 18Z Gyro. Alright? And it does show a little bit of some L's in the Bay of Campeche. Very low. I give this a very low chance. But look at that. Pretty big support here on the main development region storm. I think will likely become a storm. Okay? When we take a look at the icon, for example. I want to take a look at the icon. Let's just do it for fun. Icon likes that wave in the... It also shows that spin in the Bay Campeche. Doesn't really become something. But it does show our lovely main development region storm becoming a major hurricane that I don't believe, in my opinion. This is the GFS. GFS here generally shows the Central American gyre storm actually becoming very dominant and potentially even to a major hurricane before leaving the main development region. Pretty crazy. Becomes a very strong, aggressive Cat 4. Getting pretty close to the islands. Makes that turn. Stays a major. Almost actually becomes a Cat 5. It really deepens into a 943 on the turn. And then basically we do see this storm to go out. And then we see another, we do see that Central American gyre storm trying to spin up. There's the Central American gyre with the European ensembles around October 14th. And then it does look like it does go into the Bahamas, gets turned away. And then look at that. wow. European and the GFS is showing a monster MJO, right? I mean, look at this. Central American Gyre really blowing up. Okay? It doesn't matter if it's bronze sloppy. Alright. Um, 35 people watching. Welcome back. But look, yes, it is in Fantasyland. But there is a lot of support on the Central American Gyre. Okay? At least a very strong Central American Gyre that will try and develop. Canadian is very interesting and likes our lovely main development region storm to become a very strong hurricane. Gets extremely close to the islands. And then it likes a bit of a spin here. Look at that. 1004 millibar low. This could be a possibility too. In that Central American Gyre storm, that wave, that spin goes a little bit farther north, and it does look like it does try and become a sloppy tropical storm. And then look at that. October 13th to October 14th, a wave does shoot off the Central American Gyre, and it looks like it wants to go in the Bahamas. So look at that. It's not just the GFS showing that weird movement like that. It's the Canadian here tied with the European. So it is a little bit interesting that all the models like to shoot off a little bit of an area of low pressure before the real Central American Gyre. Actually, two of them in my mistakes. But look at the GFS ensembles. It likes a bit of that Florida whatever crap, 0%. Pretty much nothing. But it likes that wave in the main development region to become a very, very strong storm. Much more support than I have ever seen in GFS. But look at that. It also shows something in the Bay of Campeche. Something to watch. Maybe a sneaky tropical storm into Mexico. Okay? But let's take a look at the next 10 days. Look at that. GFS likes our beautiful storm to go out to sea. Right? But look at that. Wow. The European and the GEFS ensembles are both supporting something that shoots off in the Caribbean like a Central American Gyre storm. Maybe not too consolidated, but then hits Cuba and goes up the eastern seaboard. Alright, that's something we're going to have to watch too. I'm not going to make any promises, but it is interesting that both of the European and GFS ensembles are pretty good in agreement with that. But when you jump to 336, this is in the next 15 days. Yeah, looks like we get some more main development region trying to develop in the sub. But it looks like now we're getting another area of a Central American Gyre with some L's trying to spin into the Gulf. Okay? So is it true that we can have maybe a storm in the Bay of Campeche? Could we have a storm in the next 10 days shoot off into Cuba and then Bahamas? And then could it be possible of another Central American Gyre system trying to develop? It is possible. But take this with a grain of salt. Nothing's promised, okay? Alright. Let me just keep working here. We'll have to wait and see. We got 36 people watching. That is lovely. But look, I just want to show you guys the models, okay? Also, I'm going to add a little bit more lovely information. We're going to look at that lovely MJO like we did last night. It likes this, alright? It shows in the next 48 hours pretty where our wave is. It's not in the best. It's kind of stuck in that sinking motion, so it's not the best for thunderstorms, but it does get lighter and it does get better in the next coming days. And as this wave continues to get closer, especially in the next 4 days, the atmosphere actually with the main development region in the Caribbean and the Gulf becomes pretty active, and this kind of actually explodes on the Euro on the October 10th, even October 13th, and it's in full-fledged October 14th, 15th, and even 16th, and even going into the 17th, 18th, and 19th. Looks like the MJO really tries to stay going still in parts of the Caribbean and the main development region, okay? Pretty strong sign here. But at least from when it starts, I would say October 6th, it happens all the way into about like potentially 10 plus days here. Potentially almost 2 weeks worth of very favorable MJO on the 12Z Euro. Okay? The GFS really likes the MJO here. It has it kicking by October 6th. It's already starting to go here. October 7th, we are cooking. October 6th, once again, that's when it really starts getting organized. And then look at that. October 10th, 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th. I mean, even the 18th. Even the 19th and 20th. Look at the MJO. I want you guys to take a look at this. Look what I'm circling here. I want you to just take a look at the 18Z. Look at all this favorability in green. A very strong MJO in the month of October. Okay? Not just for a few days. Potentially more than 5 days. Okay? Alright, so MJO European. European charts. And let's take a look. September. Yeah, look at that. That's a very strong signal there too. This is actually Saturday. All right, this was Friday. I want you guys to take a look at Friday compared to Saturday. This was Friday. All right, look at Saturday. Now even a stronger MJO. Look at that. It really shoots into phases 1, 2, 3, even now into deeper 4, and almost into phases 5. Look at some of these ensemble supports. All the way deeper, okay? This is a strong MJO impulse that's going to be coming in. Look at Friday. And look at Saturday. The ensemble support continues to produce better and better. This was Thursday. Now look at Saturday. Look at it. Much stronger of an MJO feed coming in with the MJO. So there's another sign that we're going to be talking about some good hatch areas and potential areas. Okay. All right. Another thing I want to share with you guys with the models here. Let's just go into the tropics, okay? I like to take a look at the wind shear and Gyre, like you said, man. I want to take a look. Why does the Euro doesn't like this system? First off, dry air. It's not an issue at all. I mean, this is a pretty good moisture bubble. It just doesn't want to develop. I mean, the atmosphere, look at it. It's in a very moist pocket throughout its whole life. And then the 200 millibar shear, look at that. Pretty conducive. There is no shear on our system here. Alright. Very conducive, in my opinion. The GFS, I mean, look at that. It has a beautiful, beautiful main development region storm. I mean, you cannot get better than this. This is a classic main development region system. Very, very strong storm. Little interested. I don't know what this is. Could we see a little October nor'easter in the Northeast and make landfall in New York? I don't know. I'm not buying that. But look at the very favorable MJO down here. Couple Kelvin wave also. Just everything is looking pretty good. Alright. This is about to make landfall. But that's going to wrap it up for it today, you guys. I hope you guys very likely enjoyed. I wasn't going to do a long stream. I just wanted to give you guys a tropical outlook and discussion. But that's going to wrap it up in this one. I hope you guys like and enjoy with the information. If you guys are new, please like and subscribe. Please feel free to donate.